See this question. A force F acts tangentially at the highest point of the sphere of mass m kept on a rough horizontal surface. If spheres without rolling, find the acceleration of the center of the sphere. Okay. Say, what do you say about friction at this point? In which direction? First of all, you have to answer whether friction will act or not, and if friction acts, in which direction. See, whether friction will act or not will depend on whether you have a tendency of relative motion getting created over here due to this force F. If this force F is not there, the body will be at rest. If this force F is acting, then the question is whether this F creates a tendency of relative motion or not. Why I am saying this? Because this F is going to accelerate the sphere. It's also going to produce an angular acceleration. It will produce an acceleration A. It will also produce a torque. This force will create a torque also. Now, if the acceleration and alpha produced satisfy this relationship, then in that case, the VCM and omega produced will be equal. In that case, the point of contact will be at rest. In that case, friction is not required. If this F produces an acceleration A and alpha such that A is alpha, then there is no tendency of relative motion at this point, because in that case, the velocity at the point of contact will be 0 and point of contact will be at instantaneous rest. So we have to check. So what is the acceleration produced by this force F? We have to check. First, don't apply friction. Please check what is the A and what is alpha produced by this external force F. So this F, if acts alone, is going to produce an acceleration of A equals to F by m, and this is also going to produce 2 by 5 mr square alpha, so alpha will be 5f by 2 mr. Alpha will be 5f by 2 mr. So what do you find? You find that alpha r is 5f by 2m and A is f by m. A is f by m and alpha r is 5f by 2m. So VCM is going to increase at this rate and omega r is going to increase at this rate. Means VCM will be increasing at this rate. VCM will be f by m into t, and omega r will be 5f by 2m into t. So you find that this force, if acts alone, is going to create VCM and omega r such that VCM is ft by m and omega is 5ft by 2m. So omega r produced by this F is going to be higher, just 2.5 times higher than VCM. This is 2.5 times higher than VCM. So it means omega produced and VCM produced, omega is much higher than VCM. So it means it has a tendency of backward slipping. This force creates a tendency of backward slipping. This is going to create a tendency of backward slipping like this. It's going to produce backward slipping in this direction. The velocity is going to be in this direction. So it means in that case, the friction force which will act, since this force creates a tendency of backward slipping, the friction force will be forward. Friction force will act in forward direction. This is going to act in forward direction, right? Okay, so that's how you are going to find it out. In which direction friction will act will depend on in which direction this force is going to produce a tendency of slipping. So it produces a tendency of backward slipping, so a friction force will act in order to oppose this tendency, and this will act in such a magnitude and such a direction that the acceleration produced and alpha produced becomes equal. That's the significance of self-adjusting tendency of friction. Since it is rolling, friction will act in such a magnitude and such a direction that acceleration and alpha produced becomes equal. In absence of friction, your acceleration produced was less and alpha produced was high, right? When friction will start acting, see how is the free body diagram. F by m is F by F plus small f is ma. So what it is doing is, it is increasing the acceleration. In the absence of it, friction would have been F by m, so it will increase the acceleration. This friction force has come in support of this F. It will increase the linear acceleration, and the torque is Fr. It will create a torque in clockwise direction, and this is going to create a torque in anti-clockwise direction. So this is I alpha, and this is 2 by 5 mr square alpha. So F minus F comes out to be, and this friction will adjust itself to such a magnitude that A becomes R alpha. Then only it can succeed in its objective of opposing tendency relative motion. So it is going to act in such a magnitude that R alpha becomes equal to A. So this is equation 1, this is equation 2, and you add 1 and 2, you get 2F equals to, so A comes out to be 10F by 7M. A is 10F by 7M, and friction required to sustain rolling the amount of friction required to sustain rolling is I can say this is 2, if I just what I can do is ma minus f, that is 10f by 7 minus f, that is 3f by 7. This is the friction required. And if I am asked to find out what is the minimum coefficient of static friction which is required, then this friction required must lie within this range, that is mu s mg. So 3f by 7 friction required must be less than mu s mg. So minimum coefficient of static friction which must be there is 3f by 7 mg. 3f by 7 mg. This is the minimum coefficient of static friction which is required. Now, so this is how you can do, right? This is how you can do. Okay. In the same question, if I ask you that at what height I should apply this force so that it can roll on a frictionless surface. The question is at what height. Right now it is at a height of r from the center. I am asking a question, at what height I must apply this force so that it can roll on a plane surface also. It can roll on a plane surface also. So let me solve this question. So this will come as, oh sorry. So suppose I apply force at height h. See, it can roll on a frictionless surface only when A and alpha it produces should obey this condition. It can, suppose acceleration produces F by m and your torque equation is Fh. Torque is Fh 2 by 5 mr square alpha. So alpha comes out to be 5Fh by 2 mr. So it can run on a frictionless surface if the A and alpha are created by this force satisfy this condition, that is F by m equals to 5Fh by 2 mr. So m will cancel out, this will cancel out. So H required is 2r by 5. If the force acts on 2r by 5, then this force is not going to create any tendency relative motion in the interface, and friction is not at all required in that case. Friction is not at all required in this case. Okay. This is all we can do this question. Thank you very much.